No chill, no filter. TV, bitch!
What's poppin', and what is poppin' again, y'all? As y'all see, it's about to go down. We finna talk about it in real life. It's your big homie MC Ron-Skii. It's the noChill, noFilterTV with
Myia Wright.
Myia Wright. Whew. You know what? I already know if y'all could all sit out in an audience, we would have like so many questions, wouldn't we? So I'm gonna try to ask as many questions that are relevant as possible. First things first, you okay? Everything all right with you?
I'm wonderful.
Good, good. Okay. All right. Let's just get straight to the point here. It was your event, right? Well,
Me and Banks and Sock.
Two other constituents, okay. Of course, everybody want to know, was it, and I know, you know, it's going to be to a point where no, but I have to ask, was that a setup? Seriously? Like, what were you planning on doing that? Or, I mean, what was going on? Like,
okay, so this is the thing. June 29th, I think you were sitting in on the conversation when you found out that we were, you know, booking him. Mm-hmm. It was said then, I don't know if you were paying attention to that exact part, but me, Sock, and Bank were there talking. The stipulations for me were to not mention my kids. And that was it. So for me being told that he wouldn't mention my kids from AQ and everybody else, I accepted that.
You said I was in on that conversation?
Like you were right. Remember, you the one brought up the conversation when you was like, man, so y'all really booking this? So you probably didn't hear exactly when we were talking about it. But even me and Banks talking about it yesterday, we know you were right there because you the one brought it up. And we were talking about, like, would it be, like, bad blood, basically.
Okay, so I brought it up and then stepped away from the conversation? Is that what you're saying?
No. You were right there when the conversation happened, but I don't know if you particularly heard where I was saying, like, don't mention my kids. It was said in that conversation.
Well, I didn't.
You probably didn't. But I also have a text message that I sent out to AQ on June 29th, too, and said, after we did that, like, yeah, I don't know if we should still do this battle. I feel like it's going to be bad blood. But I didn't say it in reference to thinking that he would mention my kids. Banks said that he didn't think that KD was going to actually show. Mm. We didn't want to have this problem with all these no-shows, and look what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like.
So why would you think he wouldn't show?
Because of what happened. You know what I'm saying?
And
like,
then, okay, now you said that, but you still booking?
Listen, what I want people to understand is, I'm different from most people. I can put myself in anybody's shoes. But what's bothering me is there's a lot of biasness. You can't say, you have to go to the original thing of it. I can't book nothing if you don't accept it. So let's get to that part first. On stage, he said, I knew this would happen. If you knew, why did you take it? You said people told you not to take it. Then why did you take it? We could have saved all of this. If you knew you were still going to mention my kids, I feel like you did it to yourself. Because I specifically said, and have text messages, I didn't post them yesterday because then, in a way, I would be being disloyal to AQ because there's some shit in there that we talked about that if I put that screenshot out, it's going to look like, damn, well, why was you telling Myia something about, you know, what y'all discussed? Right. Then it'll be wrong. Which off the camera, I will show you some shit too that was not part of the stipulations. It get real dirty. That's what I'm saying. And we didn't mention that on his behalf. So it's kind of like it was a setup on his end too.
So what it sounds like is it was too much personal stuff going on anyway for y'all to even conduct business, period. It was just way too much personal stuff. And then after it was all said and done, you tell me that he smacked your hand and you pushed him at the door. You know, y'all got into it at the door.
That's true.
So, I mean, either way it go, it was too much static in the house for anything, like, successful to go on. Especially for both of y'all to be on stage at the same time.
See, this is my whole thing about it. Not to get off topic. I don't have bad blood with anybody I've ever dated in life, except for KD. This is the first time I've ever had an issue where we not still cool. You know what I'm saying? After the fact. I wasn't still holding on to the grudge because if I was, I wouldn't have booked him. I specifically have messages where I'm telling AQ, nah, fuck him. I'm going to kill him. We going to kill him with these bars. That's what I told him. So I knew that shit would get brought up. I'm like, he might tell the truth about some shit. He might lie. It's battle rap. You can say what you want to say. There's plenty that he lied about on stage that we'll talk about later. But it didn't matter. I reacted. This is my thing. When you and Sadie had the conversation, she said she didn't understand why I reacted to it. Mm-hmm. But if I would have did what most people do, the battle would have been over anyways.
What you mean?
Remember when the 2-on-2 happened and Gigi jumped in because she got mad because she mentioned and the battle was shut down? Right. If I would have been doing that like, bitch ass nigga, you lying during his round, then you know what I'm saying?
But then the only way you can kill that is just don't do that at all. Just let that man finish his round and then let it be over with. And Loyalty also said that if y'all was going, if you wanted to get that minute up out of him, then y'all could have waited till after, you know what I'm saying, the thing was over with. But for real, from my point of view, when you were actually introducing the actual battle, mm-hmm. I saw the funk in your demeanor. I ain't gonna lie. You introduced, okay, to my left, you know.
Nope.
You was like, okay, AQ introduced himself, and you didn't even look his way. You just, I guess he was waiting on you to, he was waiting on you to, hey, okay, to my right, and Loyalty got the, okay, say your name, you know what I mean? So now he got to, do his thing. So I'm looking at the funk in your demeanor, and for real, it was a negative energy. Either way it go, you wasn't yourself, and that kind of affected the whole situation. You know what I mean? That kind of affected the whole event, and in a whole. Mm-hmm. So it's like it seems as if, I don't know. I don't want to use the word sabotaged, mm-hmm. but I mean, if it's something, because honestly, when AQ was rapping, okay, you did your thing, you stood behind him, and then when KD went to rapping. For real, you was just sitting up there looking like, yep. Mm-hmm.
No, I was reacting.
Go ahead and say it.
You said you feel like I was waiting for him to say it?
And then I'm talking about as soon as he did, it was like you was on springs. Just whoop. You know what I'm saying? So, mm-hmm. I mean, just on a professional level, you being, I guess, part league owner, do you feel, and we ain't talking about the personal garbage. We ain't talking about, and it's not garbage. I ain't saying that it's garbage, you know what I'm saying? Because AQ went through the same thing with Killer B, you know what I mean? And, I wasn't on stage when that happened, but, I can't say how somebody else would feel. I do know that I know business, okay? So I know I'm a professional. You're not a battle rapper. Now, if two battle rappers do that, okay, you can make that decision not to book them again. Right. But you as the league owner or part league owner, and you are a constituent and you are the person who is running the event, it's kind of your job and duty to keep everything in order. And, mm-hmm. and most importantly, keep all the battle rappers safe. You know what I mean? You can't be the one to inflict any type of, damages onto another battle rapper, because you are not a battle rapper, and not only are you not a battle rapper, you are the person who actually threw the event. That's you know true. What I mean? So I mean, from a personal standpoint, do you think that should have waited?
You said on a personal.
I'm sorry, professional.
Okay.
Professional standpoint.
As I stated before, now that I'm in a calm state and I'm not thinking irrationally. Yes, and I knew that even at the event. That's why after it happened, I, was hugging Banks and telling him that I was sorry, and he was just like, man, he felt how he felt, because he was like, he felt like he knew it was going to happen, but there's no bad blood between me and him. Right. So on the professional aspect, I get where people are saying what they are saying about the battle. So that's that as far as it goes professionally. Mm-hmm. However, people can't say what they will or won't do until they've been put in that situation. What I would say is, I don't know if I'm using the correct term or not, it was not a setup. That was not what it was. My baby daddy was coming there. He wanted to see Ish, and he was supposed to have been at the June 29th event, which I also posted screenshots of that. His car just was down at the time, and I wasn't leaving my own event to get him. Mm-hmm. So this is the thing. I'm losing my... So basically, it wasn't a setup. Mm-hmm. However, the entire time, from when the battle first booked up until before the battle happened, I always said the same thing. he better not mention my motherfucking kids or it's going to be a problem.
Now,
so that comes off like premeditated because I did know what I was going to do if he mentioned my kids. So I would say that. But it wasn't set up.
But all at the same time, you said that y'all stipulated this.
Yes.
Okay, so if y'all stipulated this and you still came in like, yeah, if he say something about my kids, it's on and popping.
I did.
Okay, so the stipulation really didn't mean nothing. That's kind of like coming down there expecting it. Like me, myself, and you know, this is from an OG standpoint. If I feel that, you know, it's going to be drama somewhere where I go in a situation, you know, and I know that, you know, this is a place where I'm supposed to be, maybe. The first thing I'm going to do is come down there and check the energy inside, and I'm the one that's going to change it to a positive energy, because you need to understand something. This wouldn't have happened had you not flew off the chain. Okay, it all happened, and I know, you know, he said that about your kids, so he the one in your eyes, he started it. But either way it go, in the eyes of the fans, the followers, the battle rappers, you know what I'm saying, even me as the cameraman, I feel it should have been handled way more professionally than that. And look at the backlash that it's getting though. Look at what's going on here in Milwaukee now. It's like everybody's against each other. Everybody talking crazy about each other. You know what I'm saying? These people talking crazy about these people. Now people in St. Louis talking about coming here and breathing on people. I mean, all this stuff right here is stemming from that one little incident. And it's not a little incident because it's affecting like many people. A lot of people are being affected behind this. So you got to kind of take that into consideration also. So I mean, like I said, you know, the world is watching, and right now you are like the center of controversy right now. And I don't know if I can't say that you can't come back from it, but if you are to come back from it, it's gonna have to be in a big way. You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be something where if you do another event, or if you do decide to do another event, that thing got to be cracking so hard. You know what I mean? It's just something to a point where, you know, people are kind of like, I don't want Milwaukee to people to get a bad taste in their mouth when they say, okay, man, it's a battle rap event in Milwaukee. You know, we don't need that. You know, and
that's true.
I just feel that, and then not to mention, you know, you are coming in on somebody else's, so now everybody's screaming. Ain't nobody really screaming Myia, but you know, they associating Myia, but they really putting it under Jack City Battle League. You know what I mean? So that's kind of giving that man a bad rep also. You know, and Banks, shout out to my man Banks, shout out to Jack City Battle League, you know what I'm saying, Sock Sosa. Look, let me just say this right fast, man. I feel that both of y'all did a phenomenal job. Banks, you always do a phenomenal job, man. Your business is always on point with me. So I'm hoping that you can do more here, but you know, we just got to get past this, which is, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just something that flared up and it got to simmer. You know what I mean? And once it simmers, maybe everything can go back to normal, hopefully. Right. You know, so yeah, I mean, and just one more question. Well, I'm gonna say another question. How many battle rap events has your baby daddy been to?
So that was, like I just told you before, that was his first event actually attending. However, I posted the screenshots of he was supposed to be at the June 29th event. He did not come because of the thing. So, like I said, I can put myself in anybody's shoes, so I can see how people thought it was a setup. They went to the post that Sock Sosa posted June 30th, which had nothing to do with him. It was about the Agent Orange and Example battle the very next day after. But it looks like it was meant for KD, because now everybody then brought this whole post back up, and you know, they commented on it and they like, wow, thinking that it was a setup from the jump. That battle was already booked, so why would he wait until that day to mention it? It was about Example and Agent Orange. People not forget that I had dealings with him too, you know, but they just automatically thinking it's about KD. So I could see why people think it was a setup, because it's true, my baby daddy has never been to an event. But I still posted the screenshots to back it up, and it has the date in it where I'm asking him where he's at. It has the address to the event. It said, I'm waiting for somebody because his car was down. So he didn't make it because that person didn't show up. And I wasn't leaving my own event to drive 30, 40 minutes to go get him, you know. So he didn't come. I told him if he didn't come to my next event, I wouldn't fuck with him no more. Like, I ain't fucking with you because you ain't supporting me, you know. So that's why he was there. And he also was there because the night before, him and Ish chilled all night. They bonded. you know, and he told Ish that he would, you know, come and see him. And that was another reason why he was there.
And you told him you wouldn't mess with him no more. How?
Like at all. Like, see, the thing is, me and my baby daddy are not in a relationship together. Does he want to be with me? Yes. Do I want to be with him? Sometimes. But we're not in an actual relationship. But this whole time, we still been friends. Even when I was with KD. He would come over, we'd talk about what I'm going through with KD and whatever female he was dealing with. So we really is friends. And like in real life, friends.
Okay.
I got messages to prove it. We really friends. Right. So when he came, it was, oh, I'm going to come to your event. And his birthday was July 24th. So I'm like, come out to my event, you know, whatever. Right. Thinking like we could do something together after that to help me celebrate your birthday because I was working. His birthday was during the week.
Right.
So that's why he was there. No, it wasn't intentional. But at the end of the day, people still going to feel however they feel. I'm also a person who's different from most people. And don't get it twisted. It might look like everybody's against me, but they not. There's some people that are very much in agreement with me. The world doesn't work the same way.
Well, I've seen that. And I've seen people say, you know what, you know, you right, you know, people shouldn't be talking about your kids and stuff like that.
And it's battle rap. Fights happen in battle rap too.
Yeah, and you're right about that. But, you know, we still talking about the levels though. You know, you can't, if you're gonna be a league owner, you gotta conduct yourself as a league owner.
That part, you know, and that's why and that's why I say from a professional standpoint, that's why I said what I said to Banks and things like that. And I've tried to clear it up as much as I can, but like I said, people only gonna take it however they want to. They're still gonna crack jokes. Whether you want to believe it or not, when the last event popped off like this, that was my first time even doing business. I caught backlash from that, and I handled it very well.
Yeah.
I handled it very well. I didn't throw him under the bus. I defended his honor. I did all of that. So for me personally, I'm not expecting him to get on there and even speak about it at all. Because in a sense, what I did still was wrong because I'm looking at it from the professional point of it. You know, when it comes to him, I'm looking at it at the professional point. But on a personal level, I said it and I say it again. I do that shit again. Because they're my kids and I asked you not to mention my kids. In the battle, you hear him say, I gave you the attention you wanted. He knew that he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. You hear me keep screaming it.
Also on my live, he was saying, y'all never talked about that. Y'all never, he said, the only time y'all spoke is when he spoke to Banks. And look, I'm just saying what he said. And he said the only time that y'all spoke about anything, it was business. And that's when he talked to Banks. There was no stipulations on bars from what I hear. But, you know.
You also see other people clearing it up. Because if you look at what AQ said on there, AQ said that AQ knew. KD knew, Sock Sosa knew. Shout out to Sock Sosa because Sock Sosa did get on there and say that after all the controversies happened and he was on stage with KD, KD told him, I knew I wasn't supposed to mention her kids. So like I said, KD is a compulsive liar. He is. He lies about a lot of shit. He knew he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. You can hear me keep screaming it. If that wasn't something that was said, you wouldn't hear me say, bitch, I told you not to mention my kids. Banks knew he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. Sock Sosa knew he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. AQ knew he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. He knew and I knew. AQ can vouch that there were some abusive photos and shit that I was going to wear t-shirts of and everything. AQ can vouch that we said we would leave that out because that was KD's stipulation. See what I'm saying? Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not fair for it to be one-sided. AQ can vouch that this man had stipulations too. I was going to wear the shirt with the abusive pictures of his baby mama.
You know what?
It's not fair. Like, you went against it. So, in a sense, he set me up for the okie doke because he lied and knew he wasn't supposed to mention my kids. So, you set me up. So, if y'all want to look at mine like I set up, then so be it. It wasn't. From what I gather, this was a recipe for disaster off top. It's possible.
Ain't no possible. It was a recipe for disaster off top because either way it go, if y'all made that stipulation and he still got on stage and he talked about your kids, he was already on that. And if you took off on him, you was already on that. You know what I mean? So either way it go, it was a recipe for disaster.
Have you ever heard the saying, hope for the best, prepare for the worst?
Yeah, most definitely.
That was my thing. Because everybody, AQ told me himself, because I kept mentioning it to him. That's another reason why I wanted to cut the battle off, because I had a funny feeling, just like KD did. So if that's the case, I'm wrong too, because I had this feeling. He kept saying, no, I talked to him. He not going to mention your kids. So
yeah.
That's why I'm saying somewhere it seemed like I even said, KD, but I hit you up. So my whole thing was, do you got me blocked? Because I told you not to mention my kids. So don't say that unless you saying that you got my telephone number blocked, you lying. You knew that you wasn't supposed to mention my kids. Everybody knew. And if it's a lie, AQ also said, I talked to him. He not going to mention your kids.
Well, either way it go, it's...
So I want everybody to be at fault. It seems like everybody trying to put the blame on me.
Ain't nobody putting nothing on you.
I don't want to hear it's just battle rap when he mentioned my kids when he wasn't supposed to, and then he laughing. Yeah, I did it. And back to address what you said, because I don't want that to go that way. If you watch the battle, because you said you didn't actually get to watch it yourself, I didn't introduce neither one of them. All I said is, I didn't say to my left, to my right for neither one of them. I looked at AQ. AQ said what he said. I never spoke on neither one of them. And then I'm just like, and he just, you know what I'm saying? And if you said that you felt like the energy was off at that point,
it's been off. It was off top.
No, listen. If you felt like the energy was off at that point, it probably was. Because, like I said, when he walked through the door, he came through with this cocky ass demeanor, which Sosa told me to make sure everybody had a band, regardless if they was battle rappers or not. I wasn't going to touch on him and put the band. I tried to give him the band. He did like that, and my reflexes did like that and said, don't play with me.
And that was it.
Yeah. And he walked off and kept doing, I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. And I was chill. So like I said, if we was on drummer from the beginning, me and my baby daddy was right there. He could have punched him in his shit right then and there. He could have, if that's what it was. I let him get all his shit off that he was saying about me. Listen, he said shit about me. I didn't get mad about it, no nothing. The moment I heard kids, my mind just it was just that. So after the fact, yes, I understand there's going to be some backlash, but we all human. Don't act like we ain't all did something just off impulse in the heat of the moment. Like, nigga, you mentioned my kids and you wasn't supposed to. So at the end of the day, in my eyes, no, I ain't sorry. You wasn't supposed to mention them.
We ain't saying that you supposed to be sorry. You said you did what you had to do.
I did what I had to do as a mom.
You did what you was gonna do, and your baby daddy did what he had to do as a man or whatever.
Right.
And we gonna just touch on one more thing, and then we can wrap this up. You know, the whole body gang situation. Now all of a sudden, you know, everybody is kind of like making it seem like, you know, it's on them because this happened, and that's kind of unfair also. And it's just it's like, you know, did nobody really know what was going on? Did nobody know if this was finna happen? You know, and then you stay here in Milwaukee, so it ain't like they finna jump on you. And then, you know, you got this guy who they've never seen before, but you know, I don't know if they knew this was your baby daddy or what.
No.
Or whatever the case it was.
Only people knew was my brother,
you know
of course.
I mean? So, but in any event, whatever happened, it happened. You know what I'm saying? And people really need to. I'm saying this right now. Y'all should just really get up off of that, because what's happening now is everybody is lashing out at everybody. I'm talking about. I'm seeing lives and people saying the hell with me too. You know what I mean? Which is I'm not finna. You know what I mean? Get off into that. But my thing is, everybody need to go ahead and just really squash this. Leave it battle rap. The stuff that happened between her and KD should be between her and KD. All this old St. Louis versus Body Gang, and everybody know when I saw my young homie Killer B go live, and he's saying his piece. That right there kind of stuck with me, because you know he shouldn't have had to do that. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have had to go live and tell people what it is and what it ain't. You know what I mean? My thing is, man, look, there's absolutely no way in the world that y'all finna have beef on the internet, screaming guns and killing and all this. So if this, okay, so you do this and now this person fall down the stairs and break his neck and choke on a chicken bone, now somebody coming to see you. I mean, and I'm just giving you the game right now. That makes absolutely no sense. For real, if we all supposed to be together and supposed to be sticking together, we supposed to be doing better. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that everybody should just calm down. Like, and honestly, KD said that on his live. Calm down. Chill out, you know what I'm saying? Help the man look for his brush. I don't know, you know what I mean? Help him buy another shirt or something. But other than that, man, you know, I just think all the drama should be put on the shelf. We should just leave it alone. And if I'm not a Battle League owner, I'm not gonna say what they should do or shouldn't do, but you know, just really consider the battles when y'all picking them, when y'all setting them up, man. And just kind of do the backstory on them. Make sure y'all kind of do the little background check on them, and make sure that these type of things won't happen again. You know, because this is not a good look for Milwaukee. I mean, it's not. I understand that, you know, you did what it is that you did out of, you know, the spur of the moment, and you know, you was in your feelings when that happened, and you told him what to do and what not to do, and he did it anyway. It's still looking like something else to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
That's okay. So, and that's why I decided not to keep on going on, because people still going to feel how they feel about the situation. At the end of the day, I know what was told to me. I know what was said. I know what wasn't supposed to happen. I know how I reacted. I know what it looks like. Like I said, I can put myself on all ends of it. Like the thing where you were just talking about as far as body gang. Me personally, how I feel is, in actuality, I don't feel like they wrong, because it wasn't like based off what we seen. We was probably hitting him at the same time for like 5 seconds, and I was grabbed up by him. I don't feel like that, but this is my whole thing to everybody. For anybody, I don't want to clear up anything as far as me. If y'all want to backlash at me, that's cool. But for y'all that's having these comments about my baby daddy, y'all crazy as hell if y'all thought that that man was supposed to sit there and watch me fight another man. Right or wrong, it's called defend me in public, correct me in private. So if I was wrong, or how people say, that's cool, but that's for him to correct me later. Because he would have been all type of bitch ass niggas and hoe ass niggas had he sat there and let me fight with another man and he's on stage. So he's not wrong in this at all. I don't care how you look at it. If anybody wrong, blame it on KD, blame it on me. We the only two that should be at fault for this. My baby daddy is not at fault for anything. As a man, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, and all at the same time, he could have lost his life too. You know,
he could have, but
anything could have happened in that situation.
Anybody could have lost their life.
But I'm glad that it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go off into that. I'm glad that it didn't happen. I'm glad it. Well, if it had to work out, I'm glad it worked out the way that it did. Nobody was seriously injured. Everybody went their own way. You know what I'm saying? KD, from what I hear, went on to have fun for the rest of the evening or whatever. I think he went to. He went to the other event. Went to Brady Fest, and he went to the, he went to, he
me
did
and
go to
Ish,
the
we went
event.
out to eat, we was kicking it, you know what I'm saying, so, watching them smoke, and you know, like, it was good.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I just want to say about that, like, as far as what we just touched on, what I do want to apologize for is Body Gang's situation in this, because at the end of the day, like I said, I can put myself in other people's shoes. So I kind of get from the outside, the fans looking in, like, KD came with y'all, so he should have been protected. And it was a spare of the moment type thing. But at the same time, it was like, it happened so fast. Like, that's why I say people don't know what they would do in that instant. So I don't feel like they was wrong for not, you know what I'm saying, reacting the way that they did. I personally hope that y'all can squash this. How y'all feel about Body Gang, that was not my intentions. So to Body Gang, I apologize to y'all too as well, because this backlash is coming on y'all for some shit that didn't have nothing to do with y'all, and people still gonna see it however they want to see it. Even with them explaining it, they still perceive it how they want to. Man, they jumped him, and then they don't see the full clip of everything, so they can only go off what they see. We know that it was only a few seconds of a jump, but y'all don't see all that. Y'all just see that we both touched them at the same time, and it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, I apologize to Body Gang, and that's it.
Well, at any event, y'all be seeing the fight here in a minute anyway. So,
thanks.
not on the battle that dropped, of course, but you know we'll be dropping it here in a minute. But either way it go, you know, everybody gonna have their own opinion. You know, everybody got their own eyes. Everybody got their own, you know, perception of what it is that they see. So ain't nothing we can do about that, you know. So once it drop, you know, y'all can comment, y'all can like, y'all can subscribe, share, do whatever it is that you want to do. Also, make sure you check out the the recap that I did with Loyalty. You know, that's probably before this video here, before this interview with one of the most controversial individuals in battle rap right now. You know what I'm saying? The young Mrs. Myia Walker.
Myia Wright.
Myia Wright. Why you said Walker? Why did I say? Oh, because he said Walker and Runner. Okay, back to Myia Wright. Okay, all right. Hey, look, I gotta keep up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is what it is, man. It's your big homie MC Ron-Skii. Hope that y'all had a blast for this last 30 minutes with me and
Myia Wright.
This your big homie MC Ron-Skii. This is noChill, noFilterTV. And I hope y'all enjoyed yourself, and we about this bitch. Peace.
And you a sucker, and bitch, you must be out of your mind. Maybe that's why you ain't got custody of your kids. You was too busy swallowing mama. Oh! Hey, yo,
Got all that?
Come on, Queen. I said don't mention my kids. I know, bitch. Come on, Queen. Let me go. I know, come on, man. I know. I feel you. Come on, baby. Come on, here. Hell no. Come on, baby. Come on. The attention I gave it to you. Come on, baby. What is the attention I gave it to you? No, let's not do this here, y'all. Come on. Back up. Come on, baby. Come on. Pull your dress down. Pull your dress down. Bro, I know it's your girl. I know it's your big girl. Come on, Mike. Come on. Myia, come on. What is the attention? I gave it to you. No. Get her, y'all.